live in front of a virtual audience. It's the Marsh podcast. Hey, it's me. I'm Marsh. Welcome to the inaugural It's the Marsh podcast, also known as the Marshcast. Especially if you're watching live, there's the intro I know we all know and love. The intro, the sounds, the dulcet tones of Eichlers. Welcome one, welcome all. Welcome Bullet, welcome BiteSync, welcome Maxine. Anyone been streaming? Anybody want a shout out? We got some mods in the chat. Yeah, we were just watching a fair use public domain cartoon. I always loved the cartoons. You know, when I was younger, I watched Pee-wee's Playhouse. Didn't they have a cartoon? Like they had someone come to the house and it was like, now it's time to watch a cartoon. So I like doing that, especially with cartoons that are public domain because it's free. That's ours. Our cartoons, comrade. Speaking of comrades, I originally was thinking about doing a political discussion, but I actually figured, why don't we chat about some of the recent news that's been going on the internet? How's everybody been? It's been a little bit. Don't forget the guitars. We got the guitars. We might play guitar after this run at the Marshcast that we got going on right here. Majesty the cat and more. Hold on one moment. Just a little camera pan. There's my arm. Hold on. There she is. Everybody say hi to Majesty. Majesty moment. Something I'm going to come up with is when Majesty hops on and wants to be a little co-star, we're going to have a little graphic that comes on the screen that says, Majesty moment. It'll be just like that, except I won't peek the mic. All right. Now, how do we get this back to where it was? Everyone say hi to Majesty. Today's been a busy cleaning day for me. I did a little bit... I did a little bit of cleaning, too. I did laundry. I worked on job listings, job applications. And I prepped for this. The episode 0, as you'll see right down there, episode 0 of the Marshcast, because we don't know how this is going to go. But it's going to go some kind of way. I know we're streaming, but I haven't really ever started a just chatting stream before. And basically my goal is to get this to become a standalone podcast. And you will be the live audience for what becomes a pre-recorded podcast from a live broadcast. I've been streaming more often and setting up for my podcast happening in the future. Let's go, Bullet. And something else I want to do in the future is have folks on, like streamers in my community, exclamation point Discord, have on as like, you know, guests so we can chat about whatever you want to chat about. What are we chatting about today? Well, folks, have you heard about AI? It's bad. So if you go to this handy little link right now, I'm going to pin this to the chat for the entire time, I think. If you go to the link right there, it's all somewhere. He said the bad word. That's true. I wrote chat in AI. Huh? I wrote AI in chat earlier, and it was like, word filter. First of all, it's my stream. Second of all, oh, y'all don't even want us talking about it, huh? They don't even want us talking about it. Let's see if my free speech gets suppressed. Free speech warriors, stand up, unite. I set up my creator profile for sponsorships, and the first thing I was offered was to play the real anime AI crap. Wait, is that the like... I feel like I've been getting ads for that on YouTube, where it's like a choose your own adventure, but it's like AI. Oh... What are we going to do? So, do we want to talk about AI in general, or do we want to talk about Twitch? Let's talk about Twitch's AI first, all right? So, a couple weeks ago, by now, Twitch announced that they have a neat new feature that allows you to opt out of training for Amazon's generative AI. Now, when they did this announcement, they made sure to point out that Twitch, who are owned by Amazon, are not themselves training an AI model. What is happening is that Amazon, who once again own Twitch, are training an AI model based on streamers' streams, VODs, clips, chats. This, I will disclose right now, is a channel that has opted out of AI training. Your content will never be AI trained from this channel in the future. Now, why do I say in the future? Because I watched Twitch's little live stream with their chief content officer, or whatever his big title is, and they said that they don't actually know whether Amazon has been training their AI model. They either said they don't know or they can't say whether Amazon has been training their generative AI model on Twitch streamers, streams, chats, VODs, etc. before they added this opt-out option. But again, the pinned message in my chat, you can go to your settings, you have to scroll all the way down because it's all the way at the bottom. But your any account, as far as I can tell, is opted in by default to allow your channel content to train generative AI content models at Amazon. Turning this off does not opt you out of Twitch and Amazon using your channel content for other purposes described in the Twitch privacy notice, including using AI-supported Twitch features that benefit the community by facilitating streamer growth and monetization, such as real-time sponsorship campaign assistance, viewer discovery, such as recommendations, and community safety, such as automod. So there's Twitch saying that a bunch of the features in use on the website already are powered by artificial intelligence, and opting out of generative AI training will not opt your channel out of any of those features. Isn't it fun? They're trying to hide it by using it at the bottom. Oh, they absolutely are. I put AI opt-out tag on my stream. Yeah, I put no AI on mine. Is that sufficient? Should I say something more? I have all my, my identity tags, and then I have no AI. And I probably should put no AI more up front, but then I have to like X out all of my tags, put no AI at the front, and then put all my tags back in. But yeah, how do we feel about AI on Twitch? I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about the idea that for months, if not years, Amazon was training this generative AI model on our content, on my content, our content, comrade. But yes, no, I don't feel good about that. I don't feel good that my voice, my creativity, my ability to play funny sounds.
Huh? Kaboom!
Thank you!
Could a robot do that? Probably. Oh, it's a race to the bottom, that's for sure. It's a race to the bottom. See? Look at that, Ninja. I'm going to allow this. But Broadcast Ninja Star sent a chat that said AI, and I had to manually approve it. I have a confession. I'm AI. I am actually a blender. I want to put my tender heart in a blender every time I think of AI. Yeah, because we all know that'll end badly. ByteSync, I don't know what you're referring to, the asynchronous nature of chat. That's one thing that we're going to have to work on the Marsh chat is like, I got to respond to stuff in real time or not at all. Welcome, Ninja. I feel anxious. I feel it in my body. I feel it in my chest. I do not feel good about the AI. I mean, in my career, listen, someone said earlier, like, how was your hiatus? First of all, I'm still on like a soft hiatus. You're not going to be seeing many gaming streams from me. You're not going to be seeing like, at the beginning of this year when I was playing Donkey Kong, I was talking about, okay, we'll play like, I don't even remember. I think I was going to start Sonic 06. And some kind of like going back to Final Fantasy stuff. By the way, I have been playing the numbered Final Fantasy games in order on my phone. I'm up to Final Fantasy 4 right now. So I've been having fun doing that. Just like off stream, I lay in bed, play some Final Fantasy on my phone. It's great. It's really relaxing. I had to play Final Fantasy 3 on the Switch to play Pixel Remaster. I would never pirate games that I already own. Listen, I own Final Fantasy 1 through 6 Pixel Remaster on the Switch. Okay. I also own Final Fantasy 4 on the Nintendo DS. I think I'm allowed to emulate the Game Boy Advance versions of those games that Square Enix no longer sells. That's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, AI, what I was trying to say is that while I've not been streaming, I've been looking for work. I work in a media production career. That's why I'm here right now doing this, producing my own media, getting in the front of it. And so many of these companies are just like, AI is the future. We don't need human talent anymore. And, you know, what's Amazon going to try to do with training our data? Are they going to try to make commercials with fake streamers who are like, I love Amazon. I'm opted out, right? I love Amazon product. I use Amazon product every day. I love to spend money on Amazon product. Or is it going to be AI generated streams without disclosure? Are there streamers? Probably not right now, because we would be hearing about it because the AI is not that good. But like, imagine a year from now, there are AI generated live streamers who aren't people, who don't have content being produced by people, who don't have points of view or opinions being produced by people. It's just like mindless commentary. I see you, Shadow, by the way. Welcome. On good news, let's hear this from ByteSync. On good news, I was looking into my work's benefits more, and turns out they give us $25 a month subsidy for transportation. Let's fucking go. When I worked for SiriusXM, we had some kind of transit subsidy program. Yeah, maybe I'll cut this out. But talking shit about every opportunity I get. It was not good. That's what I'll say about that. And we'll move on from that right there. We already have AI Instagram podcasts. Oh, yeah, the AI podcast. That's true. So yours truly has produced some podcasts. Yours truly is producing a podcast literally right now in this exact moment. Yours truly is also producing some podcasts that are coming up that are high in the charts, and you're not going to hear about it, but I'm working a little bit behind the scenes, you know, building my stuff back up. The AI podcasts, and I like hesitate because that's what even is the purpose of that? Right now, it's just to like show, it's for them to flex, I think. You know, to say like, we're here, we have content. And again, to sell products like Instagram and TikTok are platforms that basically, thanks, Nightbot. Not right now, though. Thank you. Can someone delete that? I can delete it. Thanks, Nightbot, but not right now. Yeah, the AI Instagram podcast, I haven't really been exposed to that, but I've seen YouTube content, like YouTube Shorts content, that I can tell is AI voiced, but at least seems to be produced by a person. But even then, like, you know, on the agenda, I think we're going to go to Sony next instead of D23, but like on the agenda for tonight's discussion is D23. And a lot of people online do reactions content. This one, pick a number 1 to 7. 5.
It is fucking embarrassing!
4.
It's fucking embarrassing, all right?
6.
Fucking embarrassing, fucking embarrassing, fucking embarrassing.
There you go. Welcome, embarrassing, to the stream. The VIP treatment. How you been? We're talking about AI right now. We're probably going to move on to Sony's fun little thing that they got going on next. But right now we're talking about Twitch. I love rocking. I'm watching myself on the monitor right now. I'm just rocking out back and forth in the chair. It's fucking awesome. But yeah, the AI podcast, not good. AI content, not good. And I think there's two things really that will be used for in the future that I fear. One is the advertising, you know, and companies are already doing this. You know, former sponsor of this channel, I'll call them out. HelloFresh is not only making AI commercials, but again, working in the media, so I hear about the opportunities that are out there. HelloFresh is currently hiring people to increase their AI advertising initiative. So you're getting these commercials that are like, I love HelloFresh. I've seen them specifically for Factor, actually. And I think I maybe was sponsored by Factor at one point too. I did a thing with Factor. But it sounds like it's real people, and it sounds like it's like, I use Factor because I work out every day and I don't have time to cook, so it really saves me time. But it's not a person, it's a fucking robot. A clanker.
Huh?
Yeah, it really is bad. Welcome, Raptor. Raptor's a robot, though, so we might have to ban Raptor. Oh, I mean, what?
Huh?
I meant to welcome to the stream. I still love that name. Yeah, I need to stop umming so much, but anyway, it's already happening. AI is basically not good. Don't forget to opt out of the AI training. Everyone who's hopped in, don't forget to opt out of training your channel on AI, because even if you don't stream, it's going to, any content you have, again, another comment that was caught by the filter because they don't want us talking about AI, which means we have to keep talking about it. The fact that these companies, so they even said it in their video, in their stream. Somebody asked them, and this is the most sensible question you could think of, why are we opted into this by default? Why do we have to go in and opt out? Why do we have to find it buried in the settings and opt out of it? And the guy was straight up, and he was honest about it, and he said, well, if it was opt-in, nobody would opt in. At least they're say what you will, but at least they're honest. If it was opt-in, nobody would fucking opt in. They know we don't want this shit. We are winning in a way because we are winning the battle of public opinion. People don't want AI. They don't want it in their fucking phones. They don't want it on their TVs. They don't want it in their computer. They don't want a fucking dedicated button on Windows 12 or whatever the fuck for AI. People don't want it. Uh-oh. Hello? Yeah, I just knocked out my, I was banging on the desk so much. Just got to test everything. I knocked out my audio interface for a little bit. That's how passionate he was. Google search is literally not even dysfunctional anymore. Yeah, and then it's wrong. And you look stuff up and it's wrong. Okay, the flock stuff. Marsh is a little uneducated. This flock stuff seems to have come up so quickly. Like, it's been there, it's been around. But the noticing of it and the immediate pushback seems to be so quick. There is a town near me that I will not name who they already have a contract with Flock, and they can't like prematurely end their contract, but basically they're not even going to entertain re-signing the contract. It's over. Once their time is up, all the Flock shit is going down. And it seems like a lot of places feel like they've been fleeced by Flock. Oh, I wish I had another. If it happened in Florida, it would be Florida was fleeced by Flock. But yeah, the Flock seems to be something. And then there's the Uber. I got to keep allowing it. The Uber delivery robots, the Google Waymos. I think it's Google that owns Waymo, right? The like self-driving car. And a lot of this shit is not really autonomous. The delivery bots are driven remotely by like underpaid workers overseas. The self-driving cars are driver assisted by people who are paid to be in the passenger seat and take over. We're like real live, we're guinea pigs, we're beta tests. Like, they want to turn our real world into the Matrix. What we perceive is the real world, right? If someone gives me the red pill tomorrow, I'll take it. But as far as we know, the world around us is the real world, right? I think, therefore I am. They want to make our real world, as far as we know it, into the Matrix. They want us to be real life product testers. I mean, you are the product. People have been saying that for years. You use Facebook, you're the product. You use Twitter, you're the product. You use Twitch, you're the product. What am I? If I do a D23 segment, what am I? I am doing free advertising for the Walt Disney Company. And rather than get my pittance from Twitch every month for advertising revenue and subscriptions and bits, Amazon and the Walt Disney Company would rather just make a fake robot to not watch the fucking what? Moana 3? What's coming out? The Avengers Doomsday trailer. So play the Avengers Doomsday trailer and then have a fake person next to it going, wow, it's Steve Rogers. They don't need me to do that. If they can just not spend money on a human being to do that. And that's okay because we can do other things. I feel more dignity. If I make 20 cents off of this stream from the ad revenue, from the ads that I run, I will feel more dignity having used this time and my voice to speak out about the insidiousness of artificial intelligence. Ads are coming in 3 minutes, so during the ad break, we're going to transition segments. We're going to come back. We're going to pivot from talking about Twitch and Amazon to talking about everybody's favorite company, Sony. You like your PlayStation? You like playing PlayStation games on your PlayStation? You like playing PlayStation 4 games that you bought 13 years ago and you got on disc? On your PlayStation 5? You like putting in the disc and playing it? Yeah, you know where that's going. All the Tesla owners don't bite sync. Hey, some people might like that. Okay? Yeah, people might be into that. Watch it. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I saw one from Factor. Yeah, okay, we were talking about the Factor ad. AI customer support is awful. While we're still here, while we still got a little time, the AI support, like you thought support was bad before, and they were already trying to do it with chatbots. But now it's like these companies are firing their entire support things because the CEO at the top is like, AI can do it. It can't. The Google search, like when you search and it has the AI thing at the top, and then it's like, I don't know if this is real. Now I have to just go through the search. Not enough time to rant about how insidious this all is. We're becoming a surveillance company. Oh yeah, we already have. Fun fact about Marsh, I've never read 1984, but people will be like, oh, this is literally 1984, but like, wasn't one of the things, Majesty moment! Where's she at? Isn't one of the things about 1984 that they're constantly under surveillance? I think, right? Any music? Oh, I know what we'll play during the ad break. Yeah. I already know what we're gonna play. So we'll play a little bit of music. The ad break is only gonna be 90 seconds, but we'll take a full break. We'll take a 3-minute break, so you'll get some of the music when it's going on. Yep, there we go. Thank you very much. All right, very good. That's set up. He's producing live. Oh, there she goes. I missed her. She just did it. Wow. Majesty moment. Don't forget to opt out of the AI training, the IA, all of it. We support Al Jardine. We support Al Yankovic, but we do not support generative AI. All right, we're going to take a quick little break. Have fun on the break. When we come back, we're talking about Sony. See you soon. That's that for that. There we go. It'd be good if I turned my mic on. Welcome back to the Marshcast. I'm Marsh. Hey, did you hear about this one? Physical disc production ending in January 2028 for new games releasing on PlayStation consoles. In response to shifting trends in consumer preference, new games will be released on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. What the hell is going on? Welcome, fantasies. So, there is a great video from the journalist Jason Schreier, who is very, very talented and very, very smart and very well connected, discussing not just PlayStation's pivot to digital, but the entire industry's desire to pivot to digital. I'm not going to use this time to rehash Jason Schreier's video about this, but it's a very good video and it's about 20 minutes. So if this does end up going on YouTube and podcast platforms, I'm going to link to his podcast episode. It's technically a YouTube video, but, you know, YouTube is basically podcasting now.
Huh?
I'm going to link to it on my Discord. I'm going to link to it in the show notes. Right down there if you're watching this later. Okay, no more PlayStation discs for me then. Yeah, no more PlayStation discs for anybody. So, let's read the announcement and then we'll talk about some of the consequences of this. From Sid Schumann, him, Senior Director of Sony Interactive Entertainment Content Communications. As consumer preferences in the broader entertainment industry continue to shift away from physical discs to digital, so let's stop. Let's break this down before we listen to anything else that they have to say. As consumer preferences and the broader entertainment industry. So let's stop. We're at what, 10 words in or something? The broader entertainment industry. What has been happening over the last decade, but really think about the last half decade in the broader entertainment industry? Streaming has become a major way that people consume their media. The physical music industry basically doesn't exist anymore. Yes, you can buy records. Sometimes you can buy a CD. Sometimes if they're really quirky, you could buy a cassette. Records in the mainstream way are really, really overpriced now because it is expensive to produce records. So they're really an enthusiast item. And Blu-ray for movies is kind of becoming the same way. A Blu-ray movie is like $20. And there's not a lot, to me as a consumer, there's not a lot of value in buying a Blu-ray of, let's just use an example of a movie I really like, okay? Yeah, I could buy a Blu-ray of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I love that movie. But I'm not going to watch Into the Spider-Verse every day. I might watch Into the Spider-Verse on Blu-ray 4 or 5 times. So I've spent $20 on a DVD on a Blu-ray.
Huh?
I mean, is a Blu-ray not a digital video disc? A Blu-ray is technically a DVD. Let's have that discussion, huh? But the value proposition of a Blu-ray basically pales to the value proposition of, like, spend $20 a month on Netflix and you can watch Into the Spider-Verse and you can watch 50 fucking million other things. You're not just going to watch Spider-Verse every day for $20. So buying 12 Blu-rays a year for $20 each versus spending $20 a month on, you know, streaming service of your choice. Didn't have to be Netflix. It just, you know, whatever, to watch functionally an infinite amount of movies. Because, yeah, it might be 500, it might be 700, it might be 1,000. It's probably more than all of those numbers. But functionally, it is infinity. You have the movies you want to watch, and then there is an infinite amount of things you don't want to watch, but you know are there. It is functionally infinite for $20 a month. So, who makes Blu-rays, folks? What company produces Blu-ray discs for movies and TV shows and video games? As consumer preferences in the broader entertainment industry continue to shift away from physical discs to digital, physical game production for all new games releasing on PlayStation consoles will be discontinued starting January 2028. That is 16 months from now, I think. 15, 16 months from now. Get your discs while you can. Following this date, new games will be available on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. This transition has no impact on games that already released or will be releasing prior to January 2028 in disc format. You want to get Wolverine physical? That's great. Want to get It's the only game oh, wait a minute. I was going to say that's the only game I know that's coming out on PlayStation. And then I said, wait a minute. There's a really big game coming out on PlayStation 5 in November. Larceny of automobiles. But guess what? The car theft game is not coming out on a physical disc. Guess what else? It costs like fucking $100.
Huh?
Is the base game 80 or 70? Hold on. I actually don't remember. The standard edition of Grand Theft Auto 5. I mean Grand Theft Auto 6. Retake. The standard edition of Grand Theft Auto 6, which does not come with a disc, is going to cost $80. You know what else is going to cost $80 is the new Fire Emblem game, but we're not talking about that today. The Fire Emblem game, I believe, because Nintendo has only put one game out on game key card, which I think was Pocopia. So if Fire Emblem, the new Fire Emblem game, is a game key card, that's bad. Where's That's No Good?
That's no good.
There we go. That's no good. But yeah, $80 for no disc. And then I don't know if you've heard this about Grand Theft Auto 6. I keep wanting to say 5 because I'm still stuck on 4. I like Grand Theft Auto 4 a lot. A lot of the game's content, well, we don't know how much until it comes out. And that's the thing. And we'll see how the review process goes. Because are the reviewers going to have access to the $100 turbo version? Or are there going to be reviewers who have access to the $80 content locked version? Because the way they're handling this game is not, oh, you get bonus content if you spend an extra $20. It is content that's already in the game is going to be locked unless you spend the extra $20. So it's a $100 game. But if you buy the brokey version, you can play it. You just can't go get a haircut. You can't go to all the clothing stores. You can't go to all the car customization stores. And you might say, yeah, that's cosmetic.
Wasn't fucking DLC in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. At this point, piracy and emulation should be legal. I mean, I said my piece about playing Final Fantasy on the Game Boy Advance when I've already got the versions on the Switch. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of legal stuff around emulation and ownership. The courts, judges fundamentally do not understand how emulation works, as far as I can tell. Maybe I'm wrong. Listen, someone who's in the legal field who knows more than me, please feel free to correct me. As far as I can tell, judges don't know shit for the most part about software emulation. But in a weird way, emulation is legal. Uh-oh. There we go. I gotta be really careful with my audio interface. Yeah, there we go. I keep budging it. If you own a game and you dump the ROM yourself, or dump the, whatever, the disc, whatever, yourself, and then you emulate your copy that you own of the game, that is legal emulation. I don't even believe, because people would say, like, well, if you own the game, you could just play the ROM. But if you, like, say, for example, I have a copy of Final Fantasy IV for the DS. I don't have hardware that can dump Final Fantasy IV for the DS to let me play the ROM on my computer, on my phone, whatever. So if I were to hypothetically download a ROM of Final Fantasy IV for the Nintendo DS and play that on my phone, that's actually not legal. Even though I own the game and I paid for it, and Square Enix got my money for Final Fantasy IV. They got my money for Final Fantasy IV twice. We're veering off into a whole other discussion. How do we feel about the discs, folks? But isn't this what like the digital ownership rights people are fighting for? And that's an important fight. Because really, you don't own stuff that you stream. And this is why they want it. So we're going back to the core point actually now. These companies don't want you to own the stuff that you spend money on. in a way, Spotify becoming a dominant platform for consuming music has somewhat not been good for the artists. But why has the industry allowed it to happen, exist, flourish? Because, well, you don't own that album that in the first place. But even, I think on iTunes, for example, you buy an album, right? You don't own that. You bought a license to the album. Steam, right? People have hundreds of games on Steam. Your Steam library does not belong to you. It belongs to Valve. And you bought a license to those games. Valve could decide at any point, for any reason, hey, that copy of Grand Theft Auto that you bought, pick a number besides 6 because it doesn't have a PC release yet. But anyway, you know, you spent $60 on this game. Well, it doesn't exist anymore and you don't own it. And that's not Valve's policy right now, but who's to say it won't be in the future? Who's to say it won't be Microsoft's policy, Sony's policy, Nintendo's policy? They don't want you to own anything. In 2013, when the Xbox One was announced, they had a great policy, sarcastic, where every game that you bought was actually a digital license. The disc was just a key. Does this sound familiar? And you would put the disc in, and that would essentially verify your license for the game. That didn't take off. That didn't work. Let me hydrate. Thank you. Yeah, Steam keys, you don't own that. I mean, with a Steam key, what'd you buy? You bought a key. That's what you bought. And the key that you bought granted you a license to the game. I don't know. Close my eyes and pick one. All right, folks. Don't even know how I got this game, but here's a copy of NBA 2K13 for the Wii. New $39.99. I don't know how I got this. Also, I don't know when and where I got NBA 2K13. Executive produced by Jay-Z. I can't see that. Executive produced by Jay-Z. He must know something about basketball. But in this disc case, there's... Not only do I have NBA 2K13, I also apparently have a copy of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? None of this has to do with anything, but I find that fascinating. Anyway, both of those games, I own that. I own these. If 2K Sports were to say tomorrow, we don't make NBA 2K13 anymore, we fucking hate Jay-Z. Your license for NBA 2K13, it's invalid. You don't have it anymore because it doesn't exist. Well, guess what? It does, because it's right here in my hand and I put it in my Wii and it will play. They don't want that. They want you to have a they want you to have a digital license for a product that you don't own. And they want you to give them money for their digital licenses forever. And they would prefer it be locked behind a subscription. Adobe has made a lot of money on their Creative Suite by changing it from a product model to a subscription model. They want you to pay them every month. Why do you think Microsoft pushed so hard for Game Pass? And it failed, but they pushed very, very hard for it. I mean, it hasn't fully failed yet, but it hit a ceiling. I should turn into Heath Ledger Joker. They took away the why so serious emote. But if you're subscribed to twitch.tv/ItsTheMarsh, you at least have access to Jared Leto Joker. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Gloaming Dreams. We're going to be chatting about Sony a tiny little bit more and just the direction of... Oh! Where am I? Welcome, 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 everybody coming in from Bandit Stream. How was your stream? Bandit was playing Grand Theft Auto 4. I just said I really fucking like that game. Also, welcome, Juho. Thank you very much. Thank you for the shout out earlier, by the way. Thank you, ByteSync. We're talking about, right now, you came in on the Marshcast, which is a new thing happening on this stream. We are currently talking about Sony and their decision to get rid of PlayStation discs. The short summary is physical disc production ending in January 2028 for new games releasing on PlayStation consoles. Also, there's been confusion about this, so let me know what you think about this story in the chat. That's not just Sony games, by the way. I think some people think that they meant games made by Sony. This is every single game on the PlayStation. No publisher will have access to produce physical game discs for the PlayStation 5 after January 2028. So yeah, how was Grand Theft Auto 4? That's why I stopped using Adobe Animate, says Bullet Reaper. Now how will I make my Newgrounds animations? But actually, like Adobe, so I was saying that these companies are switching from physical products that you own to digital licenses and even more so subscription services because they want to make recurring revenue off of you. They would rather you pay $20 a month forever than pay $20 one time for one thing that you own forever. This game was $40 at launch. I didn't have to pay $40 every month to keep playing NBA 2K13. I didn't spend $40 on that game. I got it somewhere, but just as an example, right? I think we should put, I'm not going to read that out loud, Bandit. I'm not necessarily endorsing that, but I'm also not endorsing that. Let's say that. Where's Luigi? Where's my Luigi emote? If you subscribe to, I said this just before. If you subscribe to twitch.tv/ItsTheMarsh, you get this great Luigi finger guns emote from Super Smash Brothers on the Nintendo DS. I don't know what else we could possibly be referencing with that particular emote of Luigi making finger guns from Super Smash Brothers on the Nintendo 3DS. Prissy. SpongeBob, they're taking all me money and only giving me digital licenses. Arr. We've got a lot of emulation advocates here in the chat tonight. And that's, but like, on a practical level, right? These companies are not thinking about that. What drove the rise of streaming services in the first place? There was a recession, and people couldn't really spend money every month on DVDs, on stuff, maybe even on cable, right? Certainly not premium cable like HBO. Game of Thrones was like the most pirated show on the internet. Millions of people were pirating TV shows and movies in the late 2000s and early 2010s. This is just a fact. What happened? Things like Netflix, Hulu. Do you remember when Hulu let you watch TV for free with ads? Community and Parks and Recreation and the other one with Tina Fey and The Office would air on TV on Thursday night. And then on Friday morning, if you didn't watch it on Thursday night, because, for example, you're a college student who's doing other things on Thursday night that you didn't remember on Friday morning. You wake up on Friday morning and you go to the cafeteria to eat a lot of carbs and try to remember whatever the hell happened last night. And you put out your school laptop and you watch last night's Parks and Recreation with ads for free. Anime was being pirated kind of because you just like couldn't watch those shows. That was a little bit different. Like anime was like there was no access. The only way to watch anime was to pirate it. And then, you know, Crunchyroll and stuff came out. And then it was like, okay, well, at least this is a legal way to watch it. And we're supporting the official release because you just like, there was no way to support the official release with a lot of anime. They're just Eugene Krabs. I'm Eugene Krabs at this point. But only when he says, SpongeBob, you're spending me money because he's trying to date a baddie and keeps fumbling her.
Huh? I guess you're gonna miss the panty raid.
Did you know that episode was banned? What was I talking about? Piracy. Okay, so then you had all those services. I was reminiscing about Hulu for a second because Hulu used to be really fucking good. Tangent. So then what happened? Why would you pirate NBC Parks and Recreation when you could watch it on Hulu and pay them your ad revenue? And then eventually it became a subscription and you gave them money for it. And that's what happened to all of them. The things that were so convenient, we're now spending $15, $20 a month on them if you choose to do so. That Mr. Krabs buying things for Pearl. What's the one of him buying things for Pearl? Oh my God. SpongeBob. Oh, okay. Yeah. We're not talking about this or this. We're talking about this. I need some SpongeBob sound effects going on here. Arr, SpongeBob, you're spending all my money. I'm just doing what you said. Okay, so I'm not primarily a PlayStation gamer, but it seems like there's been a lot of, because this is beyond PlayStation, right? This is PlayStation games are on what? Blu-ray discs. This is step one, the canary in the coal mine, to Sony as a company no longer producing Blu-ray discs for movies and TV. This, and no other company then is going to produce Blu-rays for TV and movies. And then you're just no longer going to have access to physical media that you own. And even though I was talking before about the value proposition of buying Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse for $20 on Blu-ray, if you really like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and you want to own it forever, you have the option to buy it on Blu-ray for $20 rather than give Netflix $20 a month every month forever, and then they might take it off anyway, and then you're not able to stream it unless you want to then go to Disney Plus and give the Disney Corporation money and give them $20 a month every month forever. Thank you, by the way, Juho. I got that Kermit at a flea market. Thanks for the follow, too.
What are you doing in my swamp?
We're going to be doing something else soon. This has been a good chat. Anybody got any more feelings about Twitch? We were talking about AI before, by the way. We were talking about the Twitch AI opt-out thing, which, by the way, if you haven't done it already, click on the link that's pinned in the chat to go to your Twitch settings, scroll all the way to the bottom, and opt out of training for generative AI. Unless you want your chats and streams and VODs and everything to be used to train Amazon's generative AI systems. Welcome, Blue Blur. It's good to see you. Can we get a shout out for Blue Blur? Any mods in the chat? I opted out because fuck that. Yeah, we've got ads coming up in 3 minutes. What should we do after the ad break? I'm actually going to put a poll up because should we play guitar? Should I play guitar? Should I play Fortnite? Those are the only options. So, oh, have y'all seen, I'll play this during the ad break. Have y'all seen the trailer for that Robert Pattinson movie where he plays Chris Hansen? RAM prices. Don't get me fucking started on the RAM prices, okay? I brought extra RAM like 18 months ago and it was cheap, but I didn't buy 2 sticks because I'm a dummy. And then the RAM didn't work, and then rather than keep one like what do they call them? Not sheet. One thingy of RAM, rather than keep one and buy another later, I refunded the other RAM because I was tight on money. And yeah, RAM is really expensive because of AI. And there's people out there who are optimistic and they're like, ooh, I can't wait till the RAM price, the AI bubble pops, which it may. And I hope it will soon. Those prices aren't going back down. That's forever. Once, that is just like capitalist economics. Once the price goes up, it doesn't go back down. It's like climate change. The temperatures aren't going back. The weather isn't going back. I heard someone on the radio. They were talking about it being a record summer for heat. And then someone from like the NOAA or whatever said, well, think about it this way. It's the coldest summer on record for the future. The AI bubble may pop. But some things are here to stay. I don't celebrate that. But yeah, $35 for 16 gigabytes of RAM or whatever it was, 8 gigabytes, whatever it was. I spent $35 on it. I was really tight on money to refund something for $35, by the way. Hey, yeah. Well, let's take that out, actually, because it seems like Fortnite is in the lead right now. We got a poll up right now for what comes next. Fortnite's beating Guitar 3-1. Bro, people plan to rob the Las Vegas Sphere for RAM. There is someone on the local radio around here who is fucking obsessed with that Las Vegas Sphere. Not to drag anybody. I guess I kind of am. But, she's every time someone has a residency, she's like, oh my God, they're playing at the Sphere. And it's like, what is going on with that Sphere? Does it like hypnotize you when you go into it? We're going to look at this in real time. I'm going to come on to I'm going to stay on camera during the break, but we'll keep running the poll and we're going to watch this movie trailer for this new movie starring Robert Pattinson. What's it, Gaming 2?